alone. Not lonely, not abandoned, but profoundly, undeniably, unapologetically alone. Right now, in this very moment, the world is screaming for your attention, your phone buzzing, your calendar overflowing, your mind running a marathon you didn't sign up for. And yet, somewhere deep inside, a quieter voice calls for something else. Stillness, presence, clarity. That voice is the whisper of your higher self, the pull toward your own inner fortress. You've felt it before, the exhaustion of endless social noise, the anxiety of comparison, the subtle chaos that creeps when you forget who you are beneath the masks you wear. You're fighting battles nobody sees, wrestling thoughts that feel bigger than you. The truth: solitude is not punishment, solitude is power. Solitude is the soil where strength, wisdom, and clarity grow like wild roots reaching for sunlight beneath the rocks of the world. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius retreated inward when the empire pressed upon him. Epictetus reminded us that peace cannot be found in crowds, but in mastery over the mind. To choose solitude is to choose your own sovereignty, your own internal command center, where nothing external can dictate your peace. Imagine a life where your emotions are not storms to ride but clouds to watch drift, where your energy is a river flowing unblocked by others' chaos, where every setback is a teacher, every silent hour a sword sharpening your focus, resilience, and presence. That is the power of being alone. That is the Stoic path. Take a moment before we start. Tell us where you're listening from, and one virtue you're striving to strengthen today: wisdom, patience, discipline, or courage. Now, let's begin. If you're ready to reclaim your mind and harness the hidden strength of solitude, like this video and subscribe, because the journey inward is the bravest path you'll ever walk, and it starts right here. Point number 1. The freedom in solitude. Solitude is not emptiness, it is freedom. When you choose to step away from the noise, you step toward yourself. You strip away the expectations, the opinions, the subtle pressures of a world that is always watching, always judging. In solitude, there is no applause, no disapproval, only clarity. This is where true inner authority is born. The Stoics called it the inner citadel, a place where the mind and soul are sovereign, untouched by external chaos. Think about your mind right now. How often is it pulled in a dozen directions at once? Thoughts ping like arrows, emotions swell like tides, and your energy is constantly siphoned by other people's demands. In solitude, you create space for your mind to breathe. You reclaim your attention, your focus, and your emotional equilibrium. Alone, you are no longer a passenger in your own life. You are the driver, the navigator, the captain of your inner world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own mind." This isn't about escaping reality, it's about mastering it. Solitude teaches you that you do not need constant validation. You do not need to perform for the approval of others. Your presence, your calm, your focus, these are enough. In fact, they are the most dangerous and beautiful weapons you possess in a world addicted to distraction. In modern life, solitude can be disguised as boredom or discomfort. The urge to scroll, to check, to connect is almost magnetic, but these impulses are tests of discipline. The Stoic understands that discomfort is a teacher, sitting with your own thoughts, observing them without reaction, practicing quiet reflection. This is mental strength training. You discover which thoughts are yours and which are borrowed. You learn to watch emotions rise like clouds in the sky and pass without interference. You cultivate a presence so strong that no external storm can shake it. Practical application begins small. Designate 1 hour a day of complete solitude. No phone, no music, no chatter. Just you, a journal, and your thoughts. Write down every fear, every desire, every insecurity. Then, read it back as if it belongs to someone else. Detach, reflect, learn. Breathwork complements this practice. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 8, slowing the mind and centering your energy. These are not passive acts, they are exercises of sovereignty. Every quiet moment is a rehearsal for life, when the world demands your composure and clarity. Affirm this to anchor the lesson. I choose solitude to reclaim my power. My presence is enough. My mind is my citadel. Comment this below to root this truth in your being. By declaring it, you remind yourself that peace is not a gift of circumstance. It is a choice, and you are capable of choosing it every single day. When you embrace solitude, you also embrace the beauty of self-reliance. No longer will you seek your worth in the applause of others. No longer will your mood be dictated by outside chaos. You become an observer and a creator, a stoic warrior and a spiritual creator. You realize that your internal environment shapes your external reality. Alone you are stronger. Alone you are free. Alone you are fully alive. The power of solitude is not a quiet retreat from life. It is preparation for life at its fullest. Every decision, every action, every moment of composure is sharpened when you have learned to sit with yourself, unshaken, unbothered, and profoundly aware. Solitude is your forge, and you are the blade. Tempered in stillness, you emerge ready to act with clarity, presence, and uncompromising inner authority. Point number 2. The clarity that comes from silence. Silence is not absence. Silence is revelation. In the spaces between words, between thoughts, between the noise of the world, truth speaks in a voice so subtle that only those who listen can hear. Most of life is a constant barrage. Opinions, alerts, obligations, small dramas that demand attention, and in that chaos, your mind becomes a crowded house, walls closing in, the floorboards groaning under the weight of every borrowed worry. But in solitude, in deliberate silence, you reclaim the floor, you open the windows, you breathe freely. The Stoics understood this instinctively. Epictetus said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Silence is the soil for that response. When the world is loud, when your mind spins with fear or resentment, silence becomes a mirror. You see your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own patterns without distortion. You notice the tension in your chest, the impatience in your mind, the subtle fear whispering beneath your confidence. And in seeing these truths, you gain mastery. Think about your modern life. How often do you speak to fill the emptiness, scroll to avoid stillness, or seek conversation to avoid the discomfort of looking inward? These are distractions masquerading as connection. The Stoic chooses differently. The Stoic leans into silence, allowing the mind to organize itself, to settle like sediment in a clear pond. Reflection becomes not a luxury, but a superpower. You begin to recognize which desires are authentic, which fears are fleeting, and which actions truly serve your purpose. Practical application requires courage. Start with 10 minutes a day of intentional silence. No devices, no distractions. Simply sit, observe, breathe, and notice. Let thoughts arise and pass like clouds across a blue sky. Journal afterward. What did you discover? Which thoughts were your own? Which belonged to others? Absorbed unconsciously. Repeat this daily. Over time, your internal noise decreases. Clarity emerges. Decisions become sharper, emotions steadier, and energy more directed. Silence also teaches discernment. In solitude, you learn to distinguish between urgent and important, between fear and instinct, between reaction and response. The world's clamor may never fully disappear, but your mind becomes a fortress where judgment is guided by wisdom, not impulse. When faced with conflict, you pause. When faced with temptation, you observe. When faced with criticism, you reflect. You move with presence, like a river flowing with intention, rather than a leaf tossed by every gust of wind. Affirm this to internalize the lesson. In silence, I find clarity. In stillness, I reclaim my mind. My choices are guided by wisdom, not noise. Comment this below to claim it, and to anchor the truth that peace and understanding are cultivated, not given. Every silent moment strengthens your inner authority. Every unreactive breath builds resilience. Ultimately, silence is not withdrawal. It is preparation. It is the sharpening of the mind, the alignment of intention, the cultivation of inner power, Those who embrace silence act, speak, and lead from a place of presence, not panic. They radiate calm, confidence, and clarity. Their energy is undiluted. Their will is firm. They are stoic warriors and spiritual creators, masters of their mind, their energy, and their destiny. Remember, the world can always make noise, but silence is yours to claim. Protect it, honor it, use it, because in silence you see clearly. In silence you act wisely. In silence you are unstoppable. Point number 3, mastering your own company. To be alone is not simply to be physically separate from others. It is to be fully present with yourself, to become your own companion, your own confidant, your own teacher. Most people fear this kind of solitude because it exposes truths they have long avoided. The quiet reveals every insecurity, every unexamined belief, every fleeting desire that masquerades as necessity. Yet, this confrontation is not punishment, it is freedom. To master your own company is to master your life. Imagine walking through a vast forest. The trees are tall, the wind is constant, and the path is uncertain. Now imagine that you are the only traveler. There is no chatter, no guidance, no external comfort, only your steps and your breath. In this space, your senses sharpen. You notice the texture of the bark, the scent of pine, the rhythm of your heartbeat. You are alive, fully alive, because the external distractions that usually pull you in every direction have vanished. Solitude is the forest in which your awareness grows wild and free. Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." The wasted time is often spent avoiding ourselves. In the company of others, we perform, we react, we compare. Alone, there is no performance. There is only presence, only reflection, only the opportunity to recognize your own habits, your own fears, your own strengths. This is the path toward true self-reliance, where your happiness is not contingent on anyone or anything but your own alignment and effort. Practically, mastering your own company begins with intentional engagement with yourself. Take a daily walk without your phone. Observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Speak aloud to yourself. Rehearse your intentions. Affirm your values, and give voice to your gratitude. Journal your reflections, as if addressing a wise friend within. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding? What am I grateful for? How can I respond with wisdom today? These exercises cultivate self-trust and inner stability. Modern life conditions us to fear being alone, to seek constant validation or distraction. But the Stoic understands that true resilience comes from comfort with oneself. By mastering your own company, you become less susceptible to the chaos of others' moods, the pressures of society, and the noise of the world. You are the lighthouse in your own storm. Your energy is unpolluted. Your decisions are guided by clarity rather than panic. Affirm this to cement the lesson. I am my own companion. I am enough. My presence with myself is a source of strength and wisdom. Comment this below to anchor it in your consciousness. The act of affirming it aloud or in writing strengthens your mental sovereignty and reminds you that you are never truly alone. Your own presence is sufficient. Embracing your own company transforms how you interact with the world. Relationships are no longer attachments for validation. They are conscious exchanges of energy. Work becomes less of a grind and more of a deliberate practice aligned with purpose. Even moments of challenge are approached with composure, because the fortress of your inner self stands unshakable. Solitude becomes the crucible in which character, patience, and clarity are forged. Remember, mastering your own company is not withdrawal from life. It is the preparation for it. It is where discipline, presence, and authenticity intersect. Alone, you cultivate the internal authority that ensures you are never lost to circumstance, emotion, or distraction. Alone, you are fully responsible for your energy, your choices, your growth. Alone, you become a stoic warrior and a spiritual creator, unyielding, clear, and sovereign. Point number 4. The power of self-reflection. Solitude is the doorway, but self-reflection is the path that leads you deeper into your own truth. In the quiet, your mind stops running errands for the world and finally turns inward. You begin to notice patterns, repeated mistakes, recurring fears, subtle judgments, and moments of unnoticed courage. These observations are not accusations, they are gifts. Each insight is a stepping stone toward mastery over your emotions, your decisions, and your destiny. Think of your mind as a mirror, long obscured by dust. Daily life, social obligations, endless tasks, external opinions, smears the glass until you can barely see yourself. Solitude wipes away that grime, and reflection polishes it until your own essence shines back. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to examine his thoughts, actions, and desires. He asked, "Did I act with virtue? Did I respond with reason? Did I allow my mind to be ruled by fleeting emotion?" Reflection is the same tool for you. It illuminates where you are and guides you toward where you need to be. Modern life conditions us to look outward for answers. Advertising tells us what to want. Social media tells us what to value. Others tell us how to feel. But self-reflection flips the script. Alone in stillness, you ask yourself the hard questions. Am I living for myself or for the expectations of others? Am I reactive or am I intentional? Am I choosing my thoughts or letting them choose me? These questions are not comfortable, but they are necessary. Growth cannot occur without truth, and truth cannot occur without reflection. Practical application is simple, yet profound. Begin each morning with 5 to 10 minutes of reflection. Ask, what virtue will I practice today? Where might I give in to fear or distraction? How can I respond rather than react? End each day with journaling. What moments tested my patience, courage, or wisdom? How did I respond? What can I improve tomorrow? This cycle of morning intention and evening review is the forge in which mental clarity and emotional sovereignty are created. Add meditation or deep breathing to deepen awareness. Inhale fully, exhale slowly. Let your thoughts settle like sediment in still water. Self-reflection also builds resilience. By regularly observing your own habits and tendencies, you recognize that setbacks are teachers, not punishments. When criticism arises, you pause to ask, does this reveal something about me I can improve, or is it merely noise? When anxiety rises, you note it without judgment, allowing it to pass. Each reflective act strengthens your ability to respond with calm authority rather than reactive panic. Affirm this to solidify the lesson. I reflect to understand. I observe to grow. I choose my thoughts, my actions, and my path. Comment this below to anchor it in your consciousness and declare your commitment to inner mastery. By naming your reflections, you give yourself the power to transform insight into action and solitude into growth. Remember, self-reflection is not self-criticism, it is self-illumination. Alone you see clearly, alone you understand, alone you take responsibility for your inner state and by extension your outer life. This practice sharpens the mind, calms the emotions, and aligns energy with purpose. Through reflection, you become less dependent on validation, more aware of intention, and more capable of acting with wisdom in every circumstance. Ultimately, self-reflection is the Stoic's compass in the vast terrain of life. It guides decisions, aligns purpose, and clarifies values. Alone, with honesty and courage, you navigate life with precision. Alone, you cultivate the inner authority that no external chaos can shake. Alone, you are a stoic warrior and a spiritual creator, grounded, aware, and unstoppable. Point number 5. Embracing solitude as strength. Solitude is not weakness, it is strength. In a world that prizes constant connection, endless chatter, and perpetual busyness, choosing to be alone is an act of courage. To retreat inward, to prioritize your own mind, your own energy, your own presence, it is a rebellion against distraction and a declaration of sovereignty. The Stoics understood this. The most powerful warriors were often the quietest, the most unshakable, and the most disciplined in their solitude. Consider your own life. How often have you sought comfort in others when the true comfort was inside yourself? How often have you feared being alone, equating silence with emptiness? The truth is that every moment spent alone is a moment spent strengthening your mind, honing your focus, and aligning your energy. When you embrace solitude, you cultivate an internal environment that is impervious to chaos. You are no longer dependent on others for calm, clarity, or courage. You generate it yourself. Seneca wrote, "A man is as miserable as he believes himself to be." Solitude allows you to examine those beliefs. Without constant external input, you see clearly which thoughts are true reflections of reality and which are echoes of fear, habit, or social conditioning. Alone, you learn that your worth, your peace, and your power are not granted by others, they are claimed by you. This realization is transformative. It is the cornerstone of inner authority and emotional sovereignty. Practical application begins with intention. Choose moments of solitude daily, not as punishment, not as isolation, but as a training ground. Take a walk in nature without your phone. Sit in a quiet room with a journal and confront your thoughts honestly. Meditate, breathe and observe without reacting. These practices are the weights in your mental gym, the resistance that strengthens focus, self-awareness and patience. Over time, you will notice that solitude no longer feels empty, it feels fertile, it feels alive, it feels like power. Solitude also teaches discernment in relationships and energy exchange. When you are comfortable alone, you no longer seek people to fill gaps inside you. You engage with others from a place of fullness, not neediness. Your energy becomes magnetic because it is contained, directed, and intentional. The world may still demand your attention, but your response is measured, conscious, and aligned with your purpose. You act as a stoic warrior and a spiritual creator, present, unshaken, and unwavering. Affirm this to anchor the lesson. I embrace solitude as my strength. My power grows within me. I am enough, whole, and sovereign. Comment this below to solidify your commitment to inner authority. By stating it, you claim the truth. Peace and strength are not given, they are chosen, nurtured, and defended. Finally, understand that solitude is not withdrawal from life, it is preparation for it. Every moment alone trains you to handle chaos without fear, to make decisions with clarity, and to cultivate presence in a distracted world. It is the forge in which patience, wisdom, courage, and discipline are tempered. By embracing solitude, you awaken the stoic within the part of you that moves through life with quiet authority, unwavering focus, and calm energy. Remember, the power of being alone is not just a practice, it is a declaration. It is the mastery of your mind, the sovereignty of your spirit, and the alignment of your energy. Alone, you are a stoic warrior and a spiritual creator. You are not passive, you are present, you are intentional, you are unstoppable. Now you have walked the path inward. You have felt the power of being alone, the clarity that comes from silence, the mastery of your own company, the illumination of self-reflection, and the strength that solitude provides. Each moment of intentional stillness, each pause to breathe, each observation of your own mind, these are not idle acts. They are the tools of sovereignty, the weapons of focus, and the keys to becoming the master of your life. Remember this, the world will continue to demand your energy, your attention, and your compliance. It will try to pull you into chaos, doubt, and distraction. But the stoic warrior does not bend. The spiritual creator does not scatter. You now know that your peace, your clarity, and your power come from within, not from the applause or criticism of others. You generate it, nurture it, and protect it. You are anchored, unshakable, and intentional. Take what you have learned today and integrate it. Embrace moments of solitude, reflect deeply, and practice being fully present with yourself. Affirm your sovereignty, trust your inner guidance, and move through the world with calm authority. Every breath, every step, every decision becomes an act of mastery. If this message resonates with you, like this video and subscribe to continue your journey. Comment below, "I am a stoic warrior and a spiritual creator," and claim the truth of your inner authority. Let your words and your presence align, sending ripples of calm and clarity into every aspect of your life. May your solitude become your sanctuary, your reflection become your compass, and your presence become your power. Stand firm in your sovereignty, act with conscious purpose, and carry the stillness of your mind into every storm. You are a Stoic warrior. You are a spiritual creator. Master your mind. Align your energy. Command your destiny.